An agreement without consideration is generally void under the Indian Contract Act of 1872, unless it meets certain conditions. 1. Written and registered. The agreement is in writing and registered as required by law. 2. Love and affection. The agreement is made between close relatives out of natural love and affection. 3. Compensation. The agreement is a promise to compensate someone for something they voluntarily did, or something they were legally required to do. And 4. Debt barred by limitation law. The agreement is a promise to pay a debt that is barred by the Limitation Act. Here are some examples of agreements without consideration that are valid. Returning a wallet. If someone finds a wallet and returns it to the owner, who then promises to pay the finder as a token of appreciation, the agreement is valid. Paying a debt barred by limitation law. If someone promises to pay a debt that is barred by the Limitation Act, the agreement is valid. Some things that are not considered valid consideration include services that were voluntarily rendered, promises of a gift, consideration made due to a past event, and illusory promises. Yes, an agreement without consideration is generally void, but there are some exceptions. 1. Natural love and affection. An agreement made out of love and affection is valid if it's written and registered. For example, if a father promises to give his son his house out of love, the agreement is valid if it's written and registered. 2. Compensation for past voluntary services. An agreement is valid if it's a promise to compensate someone for a service they voluntarily provided in the past. 3. Promise to pay a time-barred debt. A promise to repay a time-barred debt without consideration is valid. 4. Voluntary services. An agreement is valid if someone voluntarily provides a service and the other party promises something in return. For example, if a neighbor prevents a fire at your house and you promise to pay them, the agreement is valid. And 5. Gift or charity. A gift or charity exchange between a donor and recipient is valid, even if there was no consideration. A promise to make a future gift is also binding. The Indian Contract Act, 1872 also states that an agreement is not void if the consent of the promisor was freely given, even if the consideration is inadequate. The court can consider the inadequacy of the consideration when determining if the consent was freely given. According to Indian Qanun, an agreement made without consideration is void, unless 1. It is expressed in writing and registered under the law for the time being in force for the registration of documents, and is made on account of natural love and affection between parties standing in a near relation to each other, or unless 2. It is a promise.